Hello you guys. Okay, so I'm back again with another video, and today we're going to focus on Aries. Aries is the baby of the zodiac. Oh, little Aries, little boo boo. Okay, so if you were born from March 21st through April 20th, this video is about you. You are Aries, the ram. Then the numerical value associated with the word Aries, Aries, is 19951. If you add these numbers together, you're going to get 25, and that equals 7. What does this tell you about Aries? Okay, so what does 7 represent? 7 is a very spiritual number. The letters that make that equal to the number 7 are G, P, and Y. So when you think about the word God, the word Pope, the word Yahshua, these are all spiritual characters that we're familiar with. And it just so happens that they have names beginning with these letters because these are spiritual letters. So this tells you that the Aries is a very spiritual person. They may be very religious or not religious at all. They may be atheists or occultists. The 7 also represents introspection. So this means going inward. A lot of self-correction and self-improvement is associated with this number. And they also can be introverts. I haven't seen too many Aries introverts, but they can be. They can be introverted, surprisingly, because of that 7 energy, because the 7 is introverted. It's introspection. It's always going within for answers. It's always going within itself. Like the Aries person, they look within themselves for the answers. They don't look outside themselves for something. They're very self-motivated and self-starting. So it's a light that shines within them. It shines from the inside out. Also because of that 7 energy. This also tells you that the Aries is great at researching and finding information and digging up information, because the 7 is very analytical. It's a researcher because it's a philosopher. It's always questioning and asking why. It always wants to know why. So you'll find that Aries can be very studious. They can be researchers. They may research every single thing that they hear. This can also make them kind of skeptical of people, or skeptical of information. They always have to double check your information, and this is so Aries because they do that. They possess a lot of knowledge about a lot of different things. So know your shit, basically, because an Aries is going to know their shit, and they will check you if you don't know your shit. And they won't check you in a way where it's real abrupt or aggressive, but it'll be very condescending. And trust me, they want you to know that they're checking you. Like, you may say something to an Aries and they'll be like, oh, is that a fact? Oh, really? Where'd you hear that? I have to research that. Or they'll be like, wow, okay. I don't know. I've never heard of that before. So they're not going to just take what you tell them. They're always going to double check your information, and they're always going to do their own research, and they pretty much believe their own research. So aside from the 7 energy, the Aries also represents 1 energy as well, because it is the first sign in the zodiac, which is also the baby. So what is the baby? What does it represent? And the baby is brilliant. Baby is a sponge. It is the most powerful machine on earth. A newborn baby is the most powerful machine on earth. It only absorbs information. It's literally an empty slate. It's an empty box that you can just fill with information. And this is what the Aries does. It's very observant. It loves to absorb information and just take things in and information in. This is also greatly associated with the number 7, taking in of information, being that philosopher, that science. The Aries is continuously improving itself. Aries represents 1 energy, represents that 1. So the 1 is a pioneer. It's a self-starter. It's a go-getter. It's a mover and a shaker. You know what I mean? It's very original. It's very fresh. It's very progressive. It's always on a go. The Aries is always reinventing itself, female and male. So these people, you may be friends with them, but you may not speak to them every day or see them every day. But every time you see them, they're always into something new, a new endeavor, a new hobby. They discover some new information. And the information that they discover, it's always very enlightening and very deep. It's very keen on self-improvement. So the information that it gathers is not going to be useless. It's not going to be useless. It's going to be information that it can apply and that it can teach other people. And Aries is very prideful. They have a lot of pride. They're proud of themselves. I mean, what can I say? They're Aries. They're ones. They have a lot of confidence. They have a lot of energy, and they have a lot of. They're very sure of themselves. I mean, there's no harm in this. There's nothing wrong with this. But to a lot of people, Aries are very misunderstood. To a lot of people, they come off as very arrogant, mean, condescending. This is the sign that you love to hate because they're very dynamic and they're very attractive and they're very compelling. But at the same time, they can be easy to envy. You can become very envious of them because they're very confident and they're very sure of themselves, and they have a lot of courage that other people don't have. And it's also in the way they display this confidence and this courage. They're very in your face with their confidence. They're very upfront and straightforward about it. They're not afraid to toot their own horn. Um, they're very open to flattery and compliments. Aries loves to be complimented and flattered. They're very thankful and they're very appreciative of your compliments. Aries, they internalize compliments, so it's very important that you compliment them because they internalize this and they really appreciate compliments. They take compliments because, like I said, they're into self-improvement. So they take, when you compliment them, it makes them feel good. It makes them feel like they're improving. So this is a good thing. Because of their need for freedom and because of their need for individualism, and Aries works best with a partner that's doing their own thing. Like, have your own thing going on. Like, have your own job, have your own hobbies and interests. Like, don't become entirely absorbed with the Aries and their interests. Like, don't trade off your interests for theirs, or they don't like that. Like, don't do that. They are going to respect you more if you have your own thing going on, because they're going to have their own thing going on. They're not going to stop what they're doing for you. It's best that you just do your own thing and you guys come together and do your thing together. So they work best like this. Now, if they have a partner who's just like really clingy and attached to them, and they always want to spend time with them and be with them, this is going to make the Aries feel very smothered, and this may make them run away because freedom is essential for Aries to be happy. Freedom is essential for Aries to feel fulfilled. So if they feel tied down or too restricted, it's a threat to their freedom. It's a threat to their limitless life. So if they don't want that, they're not going to let you tie them down. And then Aries will leave you and they will never call you again, and they won't care and they won't say sorry. They can be savages, really. So don't smother. This is a surefire way to run them away. Aries can be kind of extravagant at times, and it's because the Aries is a show off. It's the show off of the zodiac. So the Aries likes to show off. It likes to show off its talents. It likes to show off its knowledge. It's a great conversationalist. It likes to show off in the way it dresses. Aries may wear a lot of jewelry or just like flashy clothing, flashy hair, flashy makeup, because they like to show off. They want to be seen. They feel like they're number one, and you cannot tell them any different. Okay, so they're very show-offy. This too being another reason why people not hate them, but people envy them, I'll say. They can be too generous as well. They can give too much. But here's the thing, it doesn't really bother them, but the people, it kind of enables the person that they're giving to, because this person actually feels burdened. They feel burdened by the Aries generosity, and it plagues them with guilt. But the Aries really doesn't care. They're kind of just like real cool about it. They're kind of like, oh, it's all good. It's okay. I got you. But the person, because Aries is, they're so baby-like. They have this innocence about them. You don't want to burden them. But Aries, they hate to see the people they love struggle. They hate to see you struggle. If they love you, if Aries is down for you, they don't want to see you struggle. They don't want to see you go through anything that makes you unhappy or that's unpleasant for you. They don't like that. They want to help. And you know what? Put the burden on them. They can handle the burden. They're very strong. They are natural born leaders, and they have the energy, and they have the strength to to take on that burden, to take on that load. So put it on them. If they say, let me help you, let them help you. This is actually a really good person to have helping you. Like, they really are, because Aries are efficient. They're efficient as shit. Like, in Aries, they're quick learners. They learn things very quickly, and they can become very efficient at them very quickly. Like, an Aries can learn something, like, show them something once, that's it. Show them something once and they have it, and they can have it and learn it and do it very well and to perfection. They're kind of a very serious sign. They do laugh and they joke and stuff because they do have a sense of humor, which can be very dry. And kind of harsh sometimes, but they do have a sense of humor and they do laugh, but they are, for the most part, they're serious. So, but they're very efficient. So, and when you ask them for help, an Aries is going to help you, and they're going to get right on it. And like because they don't like to wait. They're adverse to waiting, so they're not going to make you wait long for things. If they are, they're going to keep you updated. Hey, this is going to take me 5 minutes, 10 minutes. They're very sticklers for time, and they're very prompt, and they're very efficient in everything they do. So if you have an Aries in your corner helping you and working with you, good shit, because that's a good person to have in your corner, really. Even though Aries can be a little arrogant and full of themselves and condescending, they're not petty, believe it or not. They're not petty. They're not a tit for tat type of person. They're not the type of person that's going to hold something over your head like, oh, I did this for you, do that for me. They are not like that at all. They're just not petty like that. They're not gonna they're above that, so to speak. They're kind of above being petty. They feel like they're better than that. They don't feel like they need to be petty. There's just no need for that. That behavior is beneath them. So they're not petty, so that's good. Even though they do come off as arrogant. You don't have to ever worry about them making you feel guilty about something they did for you. Because Aries is the baby of the zodiac, they can be jealous. They can throw tantrums when they don't get their way because they do want their way and they want it now. Like I said, Aries is adverse to waiting. They have very little patience, if any. They just don't like to wait. They want it now. And if they can't always get it now, they can't always get their way right now, they might throw a little fit. They might throw a tantrum or pout or just like get an attitude or something like that because they still are babies at heart. So this energy also makes them possessive. So when you're with an Aries, they want all your attention. They want to be the center of your attention. They want all the attention on them. When they are speaking, it's about them. In a relationship, especially, they want to be the apple of your eye. They want to be your everything. They're going to make you their everything. They're going to put all their energy into you, into the relationship that they have with you. So they're going to expect that out of you. Aries, they have very high expectations. I have to mention that because you need to know this. Their expectations are like crazy high, almost unrealistic. They are unrealistic. And Aries, they see the world as just perfect, and it's just not like that. They have high expectations for the people they date. They're very, very picky. In a relationship, Aries asks a lot of questions. They're very, I would say they're very skeptical, just like they're very suspicious of their partners, I guess. They're very concerned about what you're doing with your time when you're not spending your time with them. They want to know where you are, and who you were with, and why you were there, and what did you do there? Did you buy anything there? Where was that? What color was the paint on the walls? But I mean, they tend to like, they're very inquisitive, and this comes off as like, damn, why you giving me the third degree? You know, so it comes off like they don't trust you, but they do. They just want to know. Because this is part of their possessive behavior. Your time is theirs. I'm the center of your universe. Okay, no, I'm just joking. But yeah, Aries is they want to be the center of your attention. Not only that, Aries, they're motivators, especially Aries women. When you get into a relationship with an Aries woman, she's going to be a pusher. She's going to be a motivator. She's going to want to influence you and push you and make you better. So this can come off as being overbearing or smothering or demanding. It may come off as nagging, especially if you don't have a strong personality. Aries women, they need men with strong personalities. They need a man who can assume the position of leadership in the relationship because they have very strong personalities as women, and they need a man that can match this. If you don't have a strong personality and you are passive, they're gonna run all over you, man. They are gonna just, I mean, it's like putting somebody in a shredder, like seriously. I mean, they'll eat you up. They're man eaters, like for real. I mean, you have to be strong to be with these women, and you have to be a progressive man. You have to be you have to have your shit together. If you don't have your shit together, you better get it together quick. You have to always be moving and progressing and self improving. And she's gonna push you to do this. She's gonna, if she feels like you're not self motivated and you're not a self starter, she's going to push, and she's going to demand that you are. And one of the reasons for this is because, like I said, Aries people, they hate to see their friends and their loved ones struggling. This is actually a way that Aries expresses their love for you, by motivating you and pushing you, because if they don't care about you, they're not going to push you or motivate you. They don't give a shit about you. They don't care. But if they love you, they're going to try to make you a better person. And it's because they hate to see people, they don't want to see you struggle. They want to see you win. They want to see you shine, because they going to shine. And especially Aries women, they tend to compare their relationships a lot, which is terrible. They tend to compare their men to other men, of their friends or men they see on TV. So if your Aries girlfriend, if she has a girlfriend and her man is doing big things and you're not doing those things, she's going to compare you to him. And it's gonna hurt her. It's gonna hurt her to see that he's succeeding in life and you're not. She wants that for you. She wants you to be successful because she's successful. Aries people are successful in general. They're successful in their life. They're progressive. So it hurts her to see other people successful and you're not. She's just like, well, she feels like when she sees this, she feels like she's with a loser. She feels like she's with someone who's not progressing, someone who's stagnant, and she just can't stand this. It's not that she's like this status queen or something. She just doesn't want to be with someone who's not self-improving. I mean, who does? You know what I mean? If you're not this type of man and you are a man of a weaker personality, she will become extremely unhappy and extremely ungracious. She will become a complete savage. I mean, just finding fault in everything you do, everything you say. She might become very short with you, very snappy, just very hurtful. And she can be very heartless too. Just finding fault in everything, just something you wear, just everything. She just at that moment, at that point, you fucked up. And this is how the Aries woman sees you. She sees you as a fuck up, and you're just like beneath her at that point. She's like, ugh. Aries is very outspoken, men and women. They are not afraid to tell you like it is, and because you're not gonna stop them, you're not gonna hold them back. So they will tell you straight up, like, look, I'm out, I'm leaving. I'll pack my stuff. So, all right, see you later. And they're very independent. They don't need you, and this is the thing. They can get over you very quickly. Like a week, they be like, all right, well, it's nice knowing you. Good luck. I mean, you'll be like in tears, but they're just like, all right, I'm out. It's time to move on to the next thing. They're very independent. They can be completely alone and be completely okay with it. They like their own company. Also, Aries, because of this independence and this need for freedom, Aries, they have to have a job where they're the boss. They have to have a job where they set their own schedule, they set their own rules, they set their own pay. They are the entrepreneur. They are the epitome of the entrepreneur. They have to work for themselves. It's not that they can't work for somebody, because they can. Like I said, they're very efficient in everything they do. But first of all, people are very intimidated by them, so they don't keep jobs for long because people feel threatened by them, and their energy makes people feel very uneasy, because their confidence is crushing. So it just kind of makes you feel like, ugh, like you just feel like not so comfortable in your skin when you're around them, because they're just brimming with personality, right? So they have to work for themselves. The armed forces will be good for Aries because like they're very serious and militant, and they're very efficient. Working for Uber or Lyft is a great idea for Aries. You can set your own schedule, your own hours. No one's micromanaging you, which is a huge no-no with them. It's a challenge for them to be subordinate or work under somebody else. So I suggest that you get a job, be an entrepreneur, start your own business. And they're hustlers. I mean, they're always going to have multiple things going on to make money, because Aries, they're hustlers. So they might have a main job, but they'll have like 100 hustles on the side. Aries are very serious, but they're also very fun. Like, they enjoy a lot of fun in their social life. They are, like I said, they represent this one energy as well. So they're very open to new things and new adventures and new ideas and new experiences. Like, if you say let's go mountain climbing, they'll be down for that. If you want to jump out of a plane, they'll be down for that. If you want to swim with sharks, they'll be fucking down for that. They're down for whatever. They're so fun. They're very fun to be around, and they have, like I said, they have good senses of humor. Kind of dry. You really you have to have tough skin to be friends with an Aries, because, like I said, they're very cut and dry, black and white, straightforward. They're not going to bite their tongue. So You have to have tough skin, and it's good to have a friend. If you are timid and you are passive, I suggest that you get an Aries friend. They'll toughen you up, like just who they are. They're not going to apologize for that. They like to be waited on hand and foot at home. Aries men do. They want you to serve them. They want you to submit to them. They are very they're advocates of morality. They expect high moral standards in the people they love and the people who are around them. They expect you to have high moral standards. You have to conduct yourself and carry yourself in a certain way. You have to have a certain elegance about you to be with an Aries male, Aries female as well. You have to have a certain elegance and a certain poise, and you have to have standards, because Aries have standards and you have to have standards as well. If you have to carry yourself like a lady or a gentleman, or just carry yourself well, like a human being, like you got some damn sense, because if you don't, it's going to turn an Aries off. They're not going to embarrass you or anything like that. They know how to conduct themselves, and they expect that out of you. Because of this, these high standards, an Aries male can be very hard to please. Aries women as well, they're just never happy with anything that you do. And it's also because of their impatience. Their lack of patience makes them hard to please, because yeah, you gave it to them, but you didn't give it to them 5 minutes ago, so it's not as special anymore, type shit. Like, they are so ridiculous. But yeah, they can be very hard to please. They can just be like, oh my god, like, whatever, I can't please you, I'm done. Like, you just gonna have to cry about it, whatever. And they can be very bossy, like, especially if you're not if you are, they can become bullies as well. Aries can, especially if you don't have that tough skin, you don't have that strong personality. They can be bullies, they can bully you. So just be careful. With that, you got to develop that tough skin, because they will boss your ass around, tell you what to do, slap you around. Just like, but they can be very bossy, and they can be physically demanding in a relationship. So if you're not physically gratifying them, I know this sounds so shallow, but yeah, if you're not physically gratifying to them, they'll go elsewhere. They'll look elsewhere for the physical gratification. They need that physical perfection, and this is the idea that they have of a partner. Physical perfection. They have very high standards. You have to be beautiful, tall, smart, fucking genius, have your own house, 3 cars, a business. All those businesses have to be successful. You come from a rich family. They're multimillionaires, 3 generations. I mean, like, it's crazy. They have really ridiculous standards. They can be good in relationships, because remember, they always have that Libra in there, hidden. The Libra's hidden in them. So they can be good at relationships, and they understand how relationships work, but they lack the knowledge to make a relationship work long term. This is why they work good with Libras. Libras rule relationships, and they can teach the Aries how to stay committed for longevity. Because the Aries, they don't really have the knowledge that it requires to make a relationship last for a long time. But they are very impressive in a relationship, because, like I said, they're show-offs. So they're going to be show-offs in the bedroom. They're going to show you all their talents in the bedroom, all the things they can do with themselves and their body parts and stuff like that. They're going to be very impressive. You're going to be very impressed with them, especially if it's your first time having sex with them. They're gonna pull out all the stops. They're gonna have a lot of tricks up their sleeve for you, and you will not be disappointed. Because they are not gonna risk you telling somebody that it wasn't good. They're gonna be like, you ain't gonna tell none of your friends this wasn't the shit. So they gonna make sure it's the shit. Trust me. And they can be very sexually demanding as well. They like to push sex to new heights and new peaks. They like to push you to the limit sexually. So they might have you doing some crazy wild shit, like with So just just be prepared for that. They might have you, doing things you never thought you would do. So just be prepared for that. The Aries in the bedroom, that ram rears its head in that bedroom. I'm telling you, they can be kind of intolerable and uncompromising. They can kind of crush your ideas and crush your suggestions and crush your advice and kind of just kill your dreams every time. And they have to work on this tendency to do this and make people feel small, because they do that to people. They make them feel tiny. They make them feel like their ideas are not important, like they're not important, like they're not smart enough or good enough, like they're the only ones with the good ideas, and you're not the only one with a good idea. Aries, you have to let people share the spotlight. Let somebody else lead sometime. Give somebody else the top spot, or put somebody else in the hot seat. You're not the only one with good ideas. You're not the only visionary. Stop being so damn selfish. How to get an Aries to fall in love with you? First of all, appreciate the Aries. Like I said, flatter them. Tell them how special they are and how awesome they are and how good they're doing and how proud you are of them and how they're just the best and they're just the shit, and just really stroke their ego. This is how you get an Aries to blush. You give them a compliment. They'll be like, oh, shucks. You know what I mean? So compliment them, appreciate everything they do for you, because they're going to work hard for you if they love you. Be ambitious. Don't be lazy, because they're not gonna go for that shit. This is one thing that they are not gonna compromise with. You have to be doing something with yourself. You can't be someone that just sits around. They're just this is a huge no. Like, no bueno. Like, you got to be doing something with your life. You got to be progressive. You have to be you have to have goals. You have to have standards. Be ambitious. Period. Let them chase you. And Aries doesn't like to be smothered. They don't like people to cling to them and be attached, because they're not interested in being chased. They don't want you to chase them. They want to chase you. They like the challenge. They are very competitive, so they like the challenge of chasing. Let them chase you. Let them play hard to get. You know, when they try to touch you, push their arm off. Or when they say something flirtatious, you know, shrug it off, or like curb them or something like that. You know, just let them chase you for a while. Don't be so easy, because if it's not challenging for them, they won't stay interested. Be jealous, and this is so crazy because Aries is jealous. So this is they have that contradictory about them. Don't be jealous, don't be clingy. They can be jealous, they can be possessive in a relationship, but you better not do this, because if you do this, they will run. This makes them feel trapped, again, restricted. This is a threat to their freedom. So don't be clingy. If you are clingy, you better hide that shit. Be prompt. Like, be prompt, be on time, and be prompt in everything you do. Just be on, just always just be on your toes. Just like always pay attention, because the Aries, they are very impatient. Be prompt, be on time. If you pick them up, be on time, be early. If you're meeting them somewhere, you better be early, you better be on time, because they see this as disrespect. They do not like wasting their time. They are very adverse to waiting. They hate waiting. And be prompt in your conversation. When they ask you something, answer them quickly. Like, they don't like to wait for answers either. They're very impatient. They can be very impatient drivers. They can have a lot of road rage. So be prompt, especially like when you're talking to them. Be straightforward, be upfront. Don't sugarcoat anything. Don't beat around the bush. Give it to them like it is. They don't want to have to figure shit out. Just tell them, just tell me. Just be prompt. I mean, everything. If they text you, text them back in a timely manner. Don't wait like too long to text them, because they'll be like, hey, yeah, I text you. Like, what the fuck? What's going on? What are you doing? You haven't texted me back yet. They don't like to wait. Like, at least say, hey, yeah, you know, I'm busy right now. You know, I'll be right back. Let them, like, don't just put them on hold and not tell them why. Like, you know, just be prompt. Yeah, because they don't like to wait. If you ever go to, like, if you, I mean, I'm talking about if you go to a drive-through with Aries, like, know what the fuck you want before you guys get to the window. Because if you're like, let me get, they don't like that shit. Have your shit together. Words of affirmation. Okay, so you really have to give Aries credit for their efforts, okay? Because they thrive off of this. They need to know that they're self-improving. They kind of need validation sometimes that they're self-improving. So those compliments, that's the validation that they need. They need that. Because they're all about progress. So they need to know that they are progressing all the time. And these compliments solidifies that for them. So words of affirmation are huge, huge, huge. Encourage them, motivate them. Share new things with them that help them become a better person, a version of them. They're really going to appreciate this. They're going to love you for this. Even though the Aries is very competitive and combative, they're not stupid. So they're not going to compete with someone they know that will beat them. They're not going to face an opponent that they feel is more knowledgeable than them, is more prepared. They're not stupid. They're not going to embarrass themselves like that. If they feel like you're going to beat them in a competition, they're not going to compete with you. But if they feel like they're going to beat you, they feel like they have an advantage over you. Oh fuck yeah, they'll challenge you in a heartbeat. And This is hidden in them. People don't know this about Aries, but they don't like to battle opponents that they know that will win. They're competitive. They don't want to work too hard for the prize. They can become resentful if you are condescending to them. So like in Aries, they don't mind if you're more successful than them in their relationship or as a friend. Just don't rub it in their face. Don't gloat. Don't brag about it. Don't make them feel small. Don't try to make them feel inferior about it because you're more successful than them. They don't like that shit at all. Don't do that. This is an instant turn off to an Aries. They'll cut you off quick for this. They're not gonna tolerate that. So they'll be happy for you, but just don't gloat, even though they might. But like I said, do what they say, not as they do, right? Okay, so that is Aries, and I hope this helps you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Alignment Speaks for more videos like this. Thank you.